Redleaf and I are both free market types. So some of our friends are asking, why do we advocate in our new book, Panic, banking regulations in some ways tougher than Roosevelt's New Deal? We've been searching for a way that we could explain this to our conservative friends, and I think we finally hit on it. Lawyers. Bankers are the new lawyers. Conservatives don't want to deregulate lawyers. We don't want a free market in law. Conservatives want to regulate lawyers even more than they are today. We want to cut their fees. We want to impoverish them. We want to sell their firstborn male children into slavery. Why? Because lawyers, I get them confused. Because lawyers aren't part of the free market system. Lawyers make a living by renting out their privileged access to the government's justice machinery. Bankers do much the same thing. Federally regulated banks are the mechanism through which the government maintains the currency. In exchange, they get privileged access to the government's resources, in particular gazillions of dollars from the Federal Reserve. No modern banking system can be deregulated in principle. Apparent deregulation will always be a dangerous illusion, and for a very simple reason. The government is always the big bank's biggest customer, and the biggest customer makes all the rules, whether he admits it or not. That's why the supposed deregulation we saw under Reagan and Clinton, which really wasn't deregulation at all, but replacement of clear statutory rules with regulatory discretion, didn't end up by freeing the banks. It ended up by creating the most politicized banking system in American history. And it turns out that government-backed bankers are even more dangerous than government-backed lawyers. Let's deregulate is not a side in this fight. Conservatives are just going to have to hold their nose and get into the regulatory argument. And if you're uncomfortable with that, just keep telling yourself, it's just lawyers, only worse.